Let's start by revealing the part of your mind that made this decision for you. Look at these four creatures. Before you think about what they mean, just notice which one your gaze settles on first. That immediate, instinctual pull is far more revealing than any conscious analysis. We like to imagine our choices are born of logic, but our deepest selections are guided by something older, quieter, and far more honest than our thinking mind. For thousands of years, across countless cultures, these small beings have appeared in our stories, dreams, and spiritual traditions. They are ancient symbols of transformation, resilience, strategy, and contribution. They represent fundamental blueprints for existence, ways of navigating the world when language falls short. This isn't about right or wrong, intelligence, or even who you aspire to be. This is a reflection of which inner force is most dominant within you at this very moment. So let's do something simple, but profoundly telling. Look at the four images. Don't analyze, compare, or search for meanings. Just see which one captures your attention. Which one does your mind drift back to? Often, we are drawn to what reflects our current internal landscape, or to what we feel we're missing. You might be attracted to what feels familiar, or what feels necessary for your journey now. That's why this silent choice can be so unexpectedly insightful. As we proceed, each creature will unfold into a distinct psychological pattern, a unique way of coping, protecting, and evolving. None is better or worse. Each possesses a unique strength, and each carries a potential shadow. If exploring these hidden layers of your own nature resonates with you, please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to Winds of Thought. It helps this channel continue its quiet mission of mapping the inner world, free from noise and judgment. Now hold that initial choice in your awareness. Don't doubt it or justify it. Simply keep it with you as we begin to explore what it reveals about how you change, endure, watch, or build. We start with the ultimate symbol of metamorphosis. True transformation doesn't just require change, it requires presence. If the butterfly was your choice, your life is likely sculpted by the process of profound change. A butterfly does not begin with wings. Before flight, there is the quiet and often unseen work of the chrysalis. This alone speaks volumes about your nature. You are someone who evolves through internal shifts, through shedding old versions of yourself, beliefs, or emotional habits that have grown too tight. Stagnation feels deeply unnatural to you. Staying in one place for too long can create a sense of fading, a dimming of your inner light. Emotionally, you are finely tuned, not fragile, but deeply perceptive. You sense the undercurrents others miss, picking up on shifts in mood and energy. This grants you empathy and a rich, creative inner world. At your best, your own evolution inspires those around you. However, this depth of feeling carries a weight. Vulnerability can be a challenge. While change energizes you, it can also unsettle your foundations. In difficult moments, your instinct might be to escape into a new plan, a fresh dream, or a reinvented identity, rather than staying grounded through the discomfort. The shadow here is a subtle restlessness. You might depart from situations prematurely, not because they are wrong, but because they ask for patience instead of revolution. There can be a quiet fear of being fully known in a single form, of committing long enough for others to truly see you. The lesson is not to stop transforming. That is your essence. The lesson is to discern when to alight. Real growth is not only in motion, but also in stillness. A butterfly's wings are powerful, yet they are also delicate. Strength comes from knowing when it's safe to fold them, and when to spread them. Your current path may be asking you to root your becoming, to allow beauty to exist not just in the journey, but in the pause. Now let's explore a radically different kind of power, one that doesn't rely on change, but on an unwavering steadiness. If your attention was held by the beetle, your choice points to a deeply rooted, unshakable resilience. You are someone who understands how to bear weight and keep moving when others might surrender. This creature is ancient and patient. It doesn't seek applause. It is protected, persistent, and trusts in its own solid design. This mirrors a personality built on steadfastness, dependability, and a quiet inner discipline. You likely find value in stability, loyalty, and seeing things through to the end. You are often the pillar others rely on. You may not voice your battles, but you meet them directly. When challenges arise, your instinct is not to flee or reinvent, but to endure. You developed an emotional resilience early on, learning to count on your own strength. This grants you an incredible capacity for commitment and an understanding that genuine progress is often slow, repetitive, and unseen. But every armor has its cost. The shadow of this strength is containment. You may hold feelings inside for too long, viewing openness as a weakness or an imposition. Seeking support can feel unnatural. You might find pride in self-reliance, yet feel a quiet solitude within it. There can also be a rigidity, a hesitance toward change, not out of fear, but from the sheer effort invested in building something solid. The lesson is profound, yet gentle. You don't need to discard your armor. But resilience deepens when it learns to soften. True fortitude isn't just the power to endure, but the wisdom to release when holding on no longer serves. You are permitted to rest. You are permitted to be supported, not only to be the support. From here, we turn to a different expression of command, not through endurance, but through absolute attentiveness. If the mantis called to you, this reflects a mind shaped by observation, profound patience, and internal mastery. You are the one who watches before acting, who listens before speaking, understanding that timing is everything. The mantis waits, not idly, but with total focus. This suggests a strategic and intuitive intelligence. You are highly perceptive, sensing changes in people and environments long before they surface. You value clarity over confusion. At your best, this makes you a source of calm wisdom. You act with intention, grasp consequences, and conserve your energy. This self-regulation often makes you a steadying force for others. However, when stillness is overextended, it becomes detachment. The shadow is a retreat into observation. You may protect yourself by remaining mentally sharp but emotionally distant. Letting people in can feel risky, as it threatens your hard-won inner equilibrium. You might find yourself watching life unfold from a slight remove, waiting for the perfect moment that never quite arrives. The lesson is about integration. Your power lies in awareness, not in avoidance. Not every moment needs perfect calculation to be worth experiencing. Sometimes, growth demands a leap of trust. Finally, we arrive at an energy defined by motion, duty, and belonging to a collective purpose. If the bee stood out, your choice reveals a soul connected to contribution, responsibility, and finding meaning through dedicated action. You feel most authentic when you are of use, when your work serves something greater than yourself. This creature operates with intention, structure, and harmony. You likely take pride in diligence, consistency, and fulfilling your role with care. You are guided by a sense of purpose. Effort and results are linked in your mind. Productivity provides a sense of worth and order. At your best, you are incredibly reliable and focused. But purpose, when unbalanced, transforms into pressure. The shadow here is an over-identification with your function. You may tie your value too tightly to your output. Rest can feel like laziness. Saying no can feel selfish, even when you are depleted. You might quietly place your own needs last, lost in a cycle of duty. The lesson is essential. Your worth exists beyond your utility. Rest is not failure. It is part of the cycle. Even the bee returns to the hive, not only to work, but to be restored. Your first instinct was a message from a deeper self, waiting to be heard. By now, you may sense something vital. The creature you selected was never just a picture. It was a reflection. Each represents a core strategy for living, shaped by your inner world's current needs. Transformation, resilience, awareness, and purpose are not who you are entirely, but energies that rise and fall within your journey. The key insight is this: you are not only one of them. We all hold the capacity for change, steadiness, observation, and contribution within us. Your choice today often signals which energy your psyche is asking to prioritize right now. If you are drawn to transformation, you may be outgrowing a former self. If to resilience, you might be carrying a silent burden. If to awareness, you may be guarding your inner peace. If to purpose, you could be seeking meaning through service. None of these are faults. They are signals from a deeper layer of your being. True understanding isn't about labeling yourself, but about listening to these quiet messages. That initial, wordless attraction you felt was a part of you asking for recognition. And recognition is always the first step. If something here resonated, sit with it. See how it appears in your days. Insight unfolds gently. You might also notice that the creature you didn't choose points to qualities you currently overlook, and that too holds meaning. What we resist often shows us our next step toward wholeness. Before you go, reflect. If you wish, share your choice and what you discovered in the comments. Adding your voice can help others see themselves more clearly. And if this kind of calm, honest exploration speaks to you, please stay with us here on Winds of Thought. There are many more reflections to explore, each a quiet doorway into knowing yourself more deeply. Because self-awareness isn't about fixing who you are. It's about seeing your own depths clearly, so your next step can be taken with intention. And sometimes, that step begins with a single, instinctive choice.